you doing? This is Zach Allen. And who out there does not want to hit the ball straighter, right? I definitely need to. I've never been the straightest golfer in my career, but I've definitely figured some things out recently that have really helped my game and my students' game in terms of just more accuracy, more consistency, a little more predictability of keeping the ball right in front of us and kind of where we're looking rather than left and right and playing military golf. So you can see I've got some stuff here that's going to help us also kind of get this figured out so we can get it into your game. But before we get started, like always, don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment, like my video if these videos have helped you in the past, they've helped you score better, help you hit it better. And then I always have an email list that you're more than welcome to jump on. You'll get free weekly emails all the time that'll help your game. So let's get into this, okay? You notice here, I've got some rubber tees just taped to 3 positions of my body. I've got one on my right knee, I've got one on my right hand, and I've got one on my right forearm. And it's really important here because what you're going to see that golfers that don't hit the ball straight, there's a whole lot of twisting and torquing as they get through the hitting area. And what happens, right, that obviously controls the face of the club. The face of the club is doing the same thing. So it's called their rate of closure. It's so high and it's turning so rapidly that their ability to square the ball up is going to be very inconsistent. There's going to be a lot of left, a lot of right. And the thing that we see with good players, that rate of closure is lower and their ability to return the face very near the same position all the time. Doesn't always have to be square. It might be 1 or 2 degrees open, 1 or 2 degrees closed for that particular player, but they do it the most consistently. And when I have my students in here hitting on my launch monitor, we see a wide variation between those face angles, right? It could be 8 degrees closed, 4 degrees open, back and forth, and the harder they swing, the worse it gets. So some things that you want to do first off, okay, is make sure when you get started, if you notice how I put my right hand on the club, it goes on just like that. There's many of you out there that already, before you start, you have a twist in your right forearm or in your right hand, okay? Sometimes it's because you're very right arm dominant, right? We obviously use our right hand a lot, you know, pick our phone up, open the door, so we can get to where our right hand tends to dominate the swing. And that's not its job. This is the dominant arm in the swing. The right hand just goes on underneath. So you notice there's a little bend in my right forearm. It's bent about 5 degrees. And it's externally rotated ever so slightly to where my inside of my forearm points at the target. And this is crucial because once you have a twist to start your golf swing, it's going to twist going back and it's going to twist coming down. And straight shots are not going to happen. Okay? So setting this all up at address is very crucial. You notice how my right hand grip comes on? You ever notice that you'll go on like this? I can't put the grip on exactly with the tee on right now. And then you'll put your right hand grip on the club. And then same thing with your right forearm. It goes on underneath the left. And then even my right leg. There's a lot of you out there who you know your right leg is torquing and twisting. You'll sometimes see grass marks on the tee box to where your spikes have really tore things up. That's when we know we're really spinning around, spinning out, and we're not using these parts of our body correctly. And here's the big thing. If you want to hit the ball straight, like some of the best, straightest golfers that ever lived, like Mo Norman, Lee Trevino, guys that won tournament after tournament, not by their distance, but by their accuracy, Zach Johnson, they always talk about having a very long hitting area, okay? So as that club is traveling through the hitting area, it's square for a longer period of time, okay? And it's not actually, it actually still is closing slightly, but that rate is much slower. It's much more predictable. So what I want you to kind of think of and just to kind of just envision before you even go out to hit a bunch of balls is watch my right leg. So my right leg, if I just separated, my right leg is actually going like this as I come through. You notice how it's working linear or it's working down the target line. Now my hips are turning, but you see what my right leg is doing here? It's not going like this. So here's my hip turning and my right leg, my right foot turning. So it's not doing that. It's working this way. That's really important because as soon as one of these things turn, all of them turn, okay? And we've got the club path moving left, we've got the face closing, we're gonna have a lot of different things happening. So it's really important that we can kind of slowly feel all these sensations. So I just start with my right leg, and then I can bring it up here to my right arm and my right hand. but this is how we're coming into the ball. I'm really getting a sense of that club face just staying square for a long time. My head staying right on the back of the ball, and I'm just driving the club right down and through, right around to the target. So as we get started here, let me go ahead and take this off for now. And you start to hit balls feeling this, right? You can kind of imagine that tee coming out of your right hand. That's how your grip goes on. It does not go on with a twist, right? Here's a twist to my hand and arm. Then I put it on. It goes on like this. And as I start to take practice swings, I can just slowly feel that same sensation of, boy, my club is coming right through the hitting area down the line, and nothing in my body is disrupting it, okay? If there's one thing happening and you're trying to move this straight and this is coming around in this fashion, it's not going to be as consistent. So the key is to get your entire right side working under and through, not over, okay? And that's crucial because really there's kind of two golfers in this world. They're the ones that come over on their downswing, you know, with that urge to hit and trying to get more power, trying to get more speed out of the club, but they do it rotating everything. And they're the ones that come more underneath, okay? Now, obviously, I don't mean under as in like this, because now everything's going off towards right field, but I'm talking about my right arm is under, my right leg is under, and my right hand is under. So everything works down the target line as I'm coming through. So we've done some rehearsals. I would even, you know, just pitch a few balls, like half swings. Whenever I teach outdoors, I have a 40-yard rope that I set out there. I've just got a red line today, but I always have my students hit on that. And I want them starting with that in their mind of like, let's hit the ball as much down the target line as possible. So as they get set, they might pick out and see a little intermediate target. They might have their alignment rod, my rope out, and you'll start to hit with that same sensation of everything going down the line. So I really like that feeling. I can tell there that golf ball, as I watch it fly, it flew right down my target line, and I really felt confident in terms of my ability to keep the club square as long as possible and actually hit a predictably straight shot. So that ball went about 60 yards. As you get more comfortable, hit it 70 yards, 80 yards, 90 yards, 100 yards. But do me a favor, let's start to have some practice sessions where we focus more on accuracy and less on distance. In golf, it's about 50-50 if you ask me what's more important. They're both equally important, but I know and you know when you go out to the driving range, 90% of you out there are focusing on distance. I need to hit it this far. My 7-iron needs to go 150, 170, whatever the number is. My driver needs to go this far. And we're not focusing enough on accuracy. So I hope that helps you understand what your right side is supposed to do, what your right arm, what your trail arm is supposed to do, and how we can extend that hitting area to be like some of those great golfers. I'll see y'all next week.
Thank you so much for watching that video. If you really liked it, feel free to subscribe or give me a thumbs up. I love hearing from you guys too, so definitely drop a comment with any questions or concerns. But if you really want to get a lot of my content that's not on YouTube, I have an email list. All you need to do is click the link below, put your email in, and you'll be getting all this content for free that nobody else gets on YouTube. Lessons from me that come out almost every other day. I'll talk to you soon.